Like, at the end of the day, if you do some dope shit, now I'm on your trail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they like, oh, this straight out the dump. They got they got media dude. Oh, I forgot his name. Damn, but he do a lot of YouTube shit about New Orleans and talking about the Cali or the Magnolia.
Neutral Grounds.
Not Neutral Grounds.
It's another
cat?
I know
No. He an
Oh, the
independent
comedian.
dude. No, he not a comedian. Wayne. Nigga be doing in-depth fucking interviews. I mean, in-depth fucking documentaries about the Calio and the Magnolia. And
I know what you're talking about.
I think I recently
I
saw
think
one.
Wayne. I think it's something like
I think I recently saw something with him on it.
Video Wayne.
Okay.
Video
I gotta
Wayne.
look him
That's
up.
his name. Video Wayne. And he have a lot of New Orleans content.
Information dope too.
Yeah, all the information dope. And him, I'm on his trail. Like, I watch all his shit because
Is
it's
that the
dope.
guy? Did he recently do like a video talking about Chapatulas or some other?
No, what he did recently, he did the first interview with Baby Brother Gangster.
Oh, okay.
That went viral. That clip
I
went viral.
seen it yesterday.
Yeah,
I seen
that,
it yesterday.
That was Video Wayne work. But I went to a second line with him. With somebody died. Like, it was Josephine Johnny had died, and he was out there. So like he seen my work. I seen his work. He did his work dope. So like we fucking with each other. We
That's how
talking
it's
to each other and
supposed to
shit. So like the event probably not about to be over, but I'm leaving. That boy said, "You leaving already?" I said, "Dog, rule 365. Leave before the crowd leave." I said, "I know you just the video nigga from YouTube, but I'm the outside nigga from YouTube. Like, I be on both sides.
Yeah,
right.
I really be outside. Dog, leave before the crowd leave.
Church.
You hear me?
I'm out.
You hear me? Like, your job as media is to be there and then not be there.
Right.
You hear me? And then be there. You hear me? When they don't think you there. And then be gone. You hear me? When the shit, report the news, don't be the fucking news.
Well,
That's
yeah.
your job as media.
Right.
But
Don't be the news.
it all depends, man.
Yo, we live from Music Box Studio. This Benjiman's Room, episode 10, you hear me? I'm Benjamin, you hear me? We got KP, you know, he not on the mic today, but they can still hear you? They can still hear you? Yeah, say something, you hear me? You can't see that shiny ass chain he got on here, that blinging, you hear me? Who we got in the building today?
We got me, my name's Joshua Cousin, better known as Book or Bookman to all the band heads in the city. That's basically around the region, you know.
You got Terry, president of NOLA Legacy Bands.
NOLA Legacy Bands. I think that's the shirt y'all have on, right?
Yeah, NOLA B is short for New Orleans Legacy Association of Bands, and our motto is uphold the legacy.
So what y'all do?
We do a little bit of everything. Really just basically give back to the band community that gave so much to us. It could be from facilitating scholarship opportunities for juniors and seniors. We most recently gave a band directors award ceremony and convention for them, performance development, master classes, just straight band head stuff. Now we have a partnership with the New Orleans All-Star Band, so we're helping them get straight on a lot of things, and they're about to have a battle in Houston Saturday. So we got our hands in the band community real heavy.
See, tell me this: at what age you think a kid could be considered a band head? Like for instance, like you might have a kid that's like 6 or 7, and he drumming on everything, right? It's like so like, would you consider a kid a band head once he's in the band, like active band in the, you know what I'm saying? Like when do that development started saying like, oh, I think this kid gonna be a band head?
In the womb.
Yeah, in the womb, from the cradle to the grave. That's how
What you mean by that?
Man, basically, think about it. It's music, bro. The first thing you want to do when you get a child is sing to it. So you playing music for that child his whole life. That's how I learned his alphabet. So when you expose them to instrumental music, marching bands or brass bands, they get, in tune to that, and they want to hear it all the time. So you play it for them, and that's what they want to do. That's what they want to put on. So when you put it on, they get active again, right? So that's how a child become a band head, basically.
You got to think about it. In New Orleans, it's a little bit different for us, mainly because we have Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
And so we had those parades, during Mardi Gras. And I can remember as a kid, that's when I got the band head bug. Before I even marched in anybody band, played any instruments. I can remember whatever marching band it was. And the song was bum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Never heard it, but I could hum that bitch all week. Dum, da-da-dum. And once I finally got to McMain and joined the band, and they passed out there, and I was like, oh shit, I've been waiting for this shit my whole life.
Right.
I've been waiting for this one song. So I got bit early with this shit. Mardi Gras. That's what did it for me.
That's right.
Well, I know I have 2 young daughters. They're 1.5. So when they were small, instead of always listening to Sesame Street and stuff like that, I'll try to cut it and I'll put on like brass band music on YouTube, and they'll start getting up and dancing to it. So they have started to catch the bug early with brass band, and by me being a band head, I'll put it on different clips like Southern, Jackson State and stuff like that, and they'll listen to it. Sometimes they get aggravated with it, but certain songs, they'll be dancing to it. So, pretty much that's how kids get that bug. You know what I'm saying? It's all come from the parents.
And the main reason why I ask you this is, I see you have an organization that's working with you and a band, and it made me wonder because I'm in the Parks, right? I'm a coach for the Parks. I'm kind of like ambassador for the whole New Orleans East Park system, and like I branch out uptown LJs. I got coaches in LJs, Coach Buddha, 30 McDonald Park. So like we and the coaches, we have like a nice knit bond in the North Park world, and I've been trying to bring bands to the Park world for like the last maybe like 4 or 5 years. And it's been like the hardest thing, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I asked you that question, like, at what age would you consider a kid a bandhead? Because I never see like the I never see the programs. I never see homegrown programs reaching back into the park systems where I feel like they most needed at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the park let these kids go at 13, 14 years old. If they was fucked up at 13 and 14, y'all not even about to get him in band. Like, he gonna be more a problem to your band, like, as discipline and trying to just keep his head straight, than if you would have tapped into this kid at fucking 7 and 8 when he had discipline problems on that park, when the coach needed, you know what I'm saying, some more guidance because he ain't no football player. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna have to do something else. Maybe he could grab a tube or a fucking drum.
Well, nowadays we have the Roots of Music, and that's a community-based program. We didn't have all that when we were coming up. It was just straight Nord sports, right?
Right.
Now, Nord at some point had got a summer band program, but that don't extend until the fall because school starts and everybody goes back to their schools and participates in their band. And that's still, well, I'm not sure if they do it today, to be honest. But as recent as this year, we tried to get Larry Balrabino, the head of Nord, to come out to our HBCU band combine. He had it on his schedule but didn't show. And part of the reason we did that is because we see all these bad things happening in the city, and we're like, here we are, like, lighting a flame to something positive, sending kids to college. And we want you to see this. We want everybody to see this, even if it's Nord, because we want to show them that band for us is like athletics. These kids can get scholarships just as well as, more than these football players or basketball players, So that stuff, it matters just as much, or probably even more, being that this is a musical city. But for some reason, sports is more funded. Sports is being driven into these kids, and that's good. I mean, that's a great thing because they might do something with it. I mean, we have a bunch of little new, NFL players out there right now when you really think about it. And band don't extend that far. But, I mean, to this day, every summer, what do we have? community bands playing in its own little circuit. It's not even registered with any organization. But if somebody like Nord was to take something like that under their wing, it'll be a monster because now you have a funded program, you know?
Right. And one thing I can say, when you talk about dealing with Nord, a lot of times you just gotta go straight to the coaches because the coaches really just like the overseeing parent of all the parks, but the parks could kind of institute whatever type of program they want to, if they choose. You like so tapping into like these coaches. Like me personally, I got the kids. Like I got the kids that's ready to play. I got the parents that's ready to buy an instrument. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have the people ready to teach. I got Shamar Allen. He said he willing to be like a face of it, but he don't have the time. You know what I'm saying? So I need people that got the time to really just deal with the kids. I don't know nothing about band or music or to even teach. If I knew it, I'd do it myself. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I just know it's an important thing that they could use to bring themselves all around the world. I know people that you don't know their name that's in bands that take this music and go all around the world, feed their family off of, you know what I'm saying, an instrument.
Well, Shamar Allen is our brand ambassador, so anytime we have an event or anything, he promotes it for us. Even though he can't be there physically,
right?
He has the fan base where he can promote it, and people do come out and people do support.
Right.
When we have those.
Yeah. Salute to Shamar. He got a real interesting story. Maybe we could get Shamar in here one day because he have a real interesting story. Like Shamar could have been any casualty that you look at on any one of them murder rates, you hear me? Because that's the type of environment he come up in, you dig? And for him to end up, like, being a shining light in his community and always being positive and working with all these different people and supporting all these different things, that gotta be saluted, you dig? Like real talk. And I ain't know but I know he deep in that music world.
Right.
Every time, I'm always surprised when Shamar name pop up because it always pop up in places I'm not expecting to see. You know what I'm saying? Seeing him as an influence. You know what I'm saying? He get busy.
Right.
What part of the city y'all from?
I'm from the 7th Ward, man. Born and raised, man. 7th Ward, St. Bernard Project.
In the project.
In the project.
And you?
Yeah.
From the 9th Ward behind Carver.
All right. How it was when y'all was growing up back then?
Well, you had more of a family structure. It was more like your grandmother and your neighbors. The neighbors looked out. It was a village.
Right.
Back there. So if one got in trouble, best believe they're going to tell your grandmother. And when you hit the porch, that was a wrap. So,
close knit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same pretty much in the St. Bernard. I mean, but we just had, the criminal element. And I mean, that was all over the city. But back when we had the projects, man, things were just central to the project. That wasn't central to, you might think that probably didn't happen in Carrollton now.
Right.
Was happening in the St. Bernard, or anywhere else. I mean, it's people who, I just walk outside and see a dead body, and it's just like, wow, that's what I grew up to.
What that is? Who is Ricky B? Who says Ricky B? Yeah. That St. Bernard's on the map and they don't play. You heard me? Look, I was from across the river. I heard that shit and I just took his word for it.
Yeah, Ricky B.
Yeah.
Nobody contested it. You heard me? So, look, I'm gonna take that for what it is. You heard? I ain't want to go on St. Bernard Avenue, nigga. You heard me? Like, that's St. Bernard. Them niggas don't play on St. Bernard. Fuck that. Get off on Orleans and go around. Fuck that. You hear me? But that's dope, though. The only reason why I ask y'all that a lot because y'all deal with you, bro, and we can't get lost in times and forget to keep those values in place, bro. Because a lot of us grew up with different shit that was bad shit, but then we still had a lot of good shit to hold on to. These kids they have less and less good shit to hold on to.
Right.
So it's on us as the people who know better, who come from, you know what I'm saying, close-knit communities and shit like that, to really go back to not the school, because they at the school, but the school don't get what the parks get.
Yeah.
Like, the parks get the raw version. The school get a raw version of a child. They have them for so long, but it's still like trying to make them maintain a personal, like a professional as possible, even no matter how barbaric it may be in reality. But in the parks, they just ready to let loose. So like you get the rawest form of that child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I like we really trying to bridge that gap between the schools and the parks and organizations like yours and the parks. But we going straight from the coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like we coming straight from the coaches. Like, look, you come deal with these coaches. We got these kids, these parents that's gonna stand behind it. You know what I'm saying? And boom.
Yeah, I get that though, man, because I mean, when I was back in, what was it, fall 96, 97, I tried to go and play football at Willie Hall. Now these all the guys from my neighborhood. My little cousin played football every year for Willie Hall since, you know, the early, you know, the younger teams. And by then he was on the 130. Now I weighed way more than 130 pounds.
Right.
But there was a lot of big dudes who stood around and they got in line just like, you know, like me. And I got out there and the first thing happened was the dudes started ribbing and they got physical. And I mean, I'm like, I didn't want to fight the dude. Right. You know, but I had to hurt him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, my cousin, he was like, man, you know what? You don't need to, you know, you don't need to come back. But every day I went out to the park because he was at the park. I was at the park with him. Right. I didn't go to line up like he did for football no more though. I would sit on the side and, you know, at the same time, them cats, they wouldn't come and mess with me. You know what I'm saying? And then the same year, I meet those guys there at the same middle school and they all remember me and they was cool with me. You know what I'm saying? And so, but that was, you had to go through that. You know, it was just part of the process of learning and getting to know people sometimes.
But look, even at the parks right now, you have you might have a kid that play football. His brother like, man, I want to play football, right? So now his mama bringing both of them to practice. He on the basketball court shooting basketball because if they got a basketball court, you know what I'm saying? Every park don't have a basketball court. So now what the fucking kid doing? So that's the shit I'm saying. Like we still got that element on the park. We just gotta find something else for them kids to do. A lot of them could be banned. A lot of them could do something else because all them parks don't have basketball goals for the motherfucker to play on and shit like that. So this shit, I don't know, dog. Like I always bring everything back to these kids, like to like the younger kids because we get them so young. Right. But what's y'all experience dealing with them on the level that y'all deal with them on? Because I don't see them on the school level. Level.
I want to piggyback off of what you said earlier. Like once they leave the park and they still troubled, believe it or not, in the school system, when they're acting up in class, they bring them to the band room.
That's right.
And I'm going to give a shout out to this man because he's like one of the best band directors in the city, Mr. Wilbur Rawlins. They do that to him. He had one child that just comes in. I was sitting talking with him, and he had one child that just come in just to beat on the drum, just to get his anger out of what happened at his house. So band directors have the power to transform a kid from a troubled area and turn him into a college graduate. And I've seen it with my own two eyes.
That's the truth.
Because it gives them discipline, just like football. Right. It gives them discipline. It gives them something to look forward to, and it gives them a sense of pride. Right. We wear many hats, just like coaches. We're fathers, we're uncles, we're nurses, doctors. We are the Ride. We are McDonald's. We are Burger King. And some of that stuff goes a long way. And if you show a kid that you appreciate them, and reward them for their hard work, they'll go to the end of the earth for you, especially during Mardi Gras.
Right.
You try and buck them up, especially when they get under the bridge, and just tell them like, look, you know what I'm saying, give it your best, all eyes on you, and they will give their best to you.
Right.
And then some of them be wore out after the bridge, but they give their best to you, and that pride and that school pride and their family hollering for them, all that means something to them. So
what you telling the kid? What you telling the kid that lost a loved one, right? Like a brother, right? Hold on, look. What you telling the kid that lost a loved one, right? A brother, right? And he want revenge for that, like, and he in your band. What you telling them?
you want to answer that book? I got to answer it too. That's when you turn into that counselor, that interventionalist. As directors, you want to be supportive. You want to be supportive of the family. And then you have that one-on-one talk with the directors, and he explains to you that he want to have revenge on him. But we have to spin it and make it positive, like your brother wouldn't want you to do this. Take it out on him. So take it out on that horn.
That's right.
Take it out on that drum. We always tell the kids, like, whatever's pissing you off, take it out on that instrument. And come Friday night when you march in that stadium and you got to go against a Carver or a Kennedy or Martin Luther King or McMahon, take it out on them across the field.
That's
all
true.
that hurt, all that pain, it goes through the horn. And I can think of, whatever you're going through inside the house, or when you at school, you fail a test, or, even situations like that. When you play your horn, think of your brother that you lost, because he would want better for you than retaliate over something.
You don't answer that question. You answer this question. What do you tell a kid, right, who brother killed somebody, right, and he in your band, and they want revenge?
Oh, man, that's tough. That's tough, man. But the most I can do is try to keep them, just being honest, just to try to keep them on the right track. Because I know somebody who's been in a situation like that.
You keep him in your band?
Yeah, you got to keep them level.
Even though you know they want revenge on him?
Yeah.
And him being
in
that band put that whole band in danger?
Not really, because we don't know if he's... You know what? There's levels to it, though. Because we don't know what they're doing outside of the program, but when they're in that school, you on school time. Half the time, things just don't happen at the school. Nowadays, they kind of do, but, you will hear these stories. I would say it this way. That kid's coming to school, he's not talking to the teachers, and he's talking among students about what happened the night before, right?
Right.
And just so happens, let's say that their house gets shot up or something. You're hearing this story, and you're like, dang, man, you got to stay away from that stuff. Now, all these years, you done stood away. The minute you get out of school, boom, you shot in the head. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because for some reason, being in school or being within the school's program or the band, in that short period of time, saved them from an earlier demise or something along those lines. So sometimes staying in some course where you're avoiding a situation where you might be in a certain place to do something, whether you feel it in your spirit or not to do something, you got to take it upon yourself and get encouragement from the people around you to do the right part, to do the right thing. Right. And that's really what it's about. But that's hard, because I have known people who wanted revenge, and at the end of the day, I'll talk to them today, and they be like, man, you just don't know how a band saved my life, or being a color guard saved their life. Right. Just simply being at an active program to keep them away from other troubles. That matter. Right. And it could be sports. Right. It can be sports, right. But once you're out of the element, where you going? You got to go right back into the element,
right.
you know?
And Me personally, bro, I really think you can ask K, like I always advocate for this. Like the younger we could show them that they a part of something, the better. Like it don't make no sense in getting them at 14 and 15 years old, or even 12 or 11 years old. You got to get them at 4, 5, and 6. That's the most important ages to get them kids, because once you could show them some piece of love, some part of community at 4, 5, and 6, that's giving them something to thrive for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because by the time they done went through hell and they 8 years old, you looking at this badass fucking 8-year-old, man, he already fucked up. Like, you could look at him and tell he gonna sell drugs. Like, he gonna shoot somebody. Like, the bitch walking around like he already got a body on him. You hear me? Like, just because he admire killers, he hang around killers, your fucking brother a killer, his fucking daddy a killer. He want to kill somebody too. You did, like, because that's the attitudes that he around. So
best thing I can say right now, shout out to Derek Tab and the Roots of Music.
oh my God.
For what they do to those little bitty kids. So one, I respect them. So when they do march up to the street, they cleaner than most of the middle schools and high school bands. So give that to them for being 8 to 13.
Right.
Yeah.
2, the opportunities that my son got alone in the 3 years that he was there is unmatched. Like, his passport is stamped.
What that
Right.
was.
He has several stamps on his passport for going outside of the country on 3 different occasions.
Right.
He also done played for the Saints games, and the Roots of Music provides so many opportunities that the high schools don't offer.
Right.
Look, my little nephew, he like you were saying, he caught the band bug at the parade like my son did, and he couldn't wait. This little motherfucker had the little fucking the frisbees. He didn't fucking put a rag through the frisbees and turn them bitches into fucking symbols. Yeah, there when the bands come, he marching with the bands and shit, and he couldn't wait to get in Roots of Music.
Right.
So now he in Roots of Music. And that's all he fucking want to do is, like, he on his iPad is signed up for fucking piano lessons. So he got a keyboard, he got the fucking iPad, and it's live. So I'm not knowing the shit live. I come in the room and I'm fucking with him here. I'm like, man, look at you little big head motherfucker. And he like, Uncle Brandon, I'm live. And you're like, oh, I'm like, this some live. I'm like, man, that lady real. I'm thinking you watching some YouTube shit. You hear me? Like, nigga got live piano lessons, teaching himself piano.
Right.
But he love Roots of Music. Like, he love that shit. Now he got my fucking 8-year-old. He like, I can't wait to get in Roots of Music. I'm like, nah, all right. All these motherfuckers catching up. And it's not the only bad thing I can say about Roots of Music is they like, it's only one organization. Like, it's only one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need 15 Roots of Music. They need a fucking Roots of Music for every fucking, like,
every neighborhood.
Like, you see how many fucking kids they had at that fucking parade?
Right.
Dog, like, that's one fucking organization. Do you know how many kids want to be part of that shit?
Right.
They could have a whole fucking army, like 300.
But this is what it boils down to. Do you know how much it costs to run that organization?
That's right.
You got
What it costs to run that organization and what the parents have to pay for their kid? Every kid is only $100 for the whole year.
Dude, what I'm saying is,
feed you. They have to raise a whole
lot
they
of
have
money.
to
That's
find
right.
millions.
they shouldn't have to.
yeah.
Oh,
Look, and it's real shit. They shouldn't have to find money. You hear me? Like, we watching these motherfuckers spend money like it growing trees. They giving these fucking these fucking what they call the little schools, the charter schools.
Yeah.
They giving these fucking charter schools money hand over fucking fist. They making money hand over fist just off of lunch alone. Mm-hmm. They not even renting a fucking school. You know how fucking they doing that shit Walmart do. Like, they go and rent the fucking building. Walmart don't own they fucking buildings. Mm-hmm. They rent the building. You did, and they make $1 billion in the building because they turn that bitch into a trap house, and then they close that bitch down when the fuck they want to and move it to a better location where they just gonna rent the fucking building. They own their warehouses. They don't own the fucking Walmart buildings. They rent that shit. So, you know, with that type of fucking mentality with these schools, I don't know what we gonna do, bro. Like, it's like we been sold out.
Right. Right.
But you know something? There's a difference, man. When you're a grassroots organization, literally like Roots of Music, when you come from nothing, you have to start with nothing. A school, when they're, you know, basically coming together with this organization, now they have to lobby to get funding because they're saying, hey, we're a school. So they automatically get funding from the government.
Right.
And then from there, they build upon that. But they're already, the funding is already there for a school. That's why they're able to take care of so much. But then you get down to a specific program, which is the band, and they can't fund it every year, but yet they can buy the football team new uniforms and new equipment every year.
So speak more into that, and especially you, because I know he do a lot of, like I said, he do a lot of work for a lot of schools, and every year he called in to look for parts for tubas, trying to get different tubas for these schools, because you would think Sarah T. Reeves and this one and that one will have their horns and shit. But these high schools don't have horns because the schools don't want to give them the money.
Right.
And then they got to find niggas like him to go find horns or go ask somebody like me. You got extra horn laying around?
Right.
He literally going to find horns to put in these kids' hands in these high schools where the schools should be doing it, but they don't want to. That's where these two gentlemen come in. That's why I bought them here.
So I'm going to give a positive outlook to it. My supervisor is a band head. Mm-hmm. So we got together via social media and we created a platform called Bands Are Back, Bouncing Back After COVID. And we got to interview several different schools. And once those interviews on how to prepare for Mardi Gras, how they prepare, how they work hard and all that. So after Mardi Gras hit and everything was said and done, all of a sudden those schools started looking into those music programs and started funding them.
Right.
So now you have a Kip East who's going to Chicago for Thanksgiving. He's finally getting over $100,000 worth of instruments. We're starting to see the change. Now you're engaged in marching bands because the best way I could put it, most of the charters are from out of town. Most of the people who run the charters from out of town, so they don't know the culture. Right. So when you expose them to the culture, it's like, oh, this is what's supposed to happen? So now it's starting to happen. It's slowly but surely starting to happen. I'll give you a perfect example. You from the West Bank, at Nicole. Mm-hmm. At first, Chalupa wasn't getting what he needed. Now he has built a brand. Now he's getting what he needs. Mr. Rawlins is nothing but a mouthpiece. He knows band. He knows business. He knows how to get what he needs. And he's got instruments. Right. So we just need...
How much is a trumpet?
A trumpet can range from $99 to over $1,000. It depends on what brand you get.
So tell me, like, how much is like your average high school trumpet?
$200.
$200. And this why I'm not calling BS. You dig? Children have parents. All right. Parents need to invest into children. This is a fundamental law.
That's your job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fundamental law to build community. If you not going to invest in your children, you actually helping destroy the community.
Correct.
All right? So I know for a fact, just off of my football program, that the helmets cost $200. You know what I'm saying? Like, we spending, every football season, every parent spending $500 easy. And that's not going to no black-owned company. You did, like, they sending $4 overseas per child for uniform. They $200 on helmet going to academy, tugs, academy, fucking cleats, academy. All this money going to all these places that's not black-owned, but it's our people that's running and bringing the money there. And you look at a $200 horn that you gonna have for how long?
For life.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like
Here's my thing.
how is funding a problem? I don't understand. We buying this shit every football season. Like my children getting new shit. Like they not them helmets. They probably not even. They don't even want them helmets no more. You know what I'm saying? We getting new helmets this season.
Here's my thing. When it comes to marching band, and I hate to say it, parents serve marching band as a babysitter. And they cry po man when budgets are established. The average band budget went from when me and Keenan was marching was like $100 to now it's like $200 to $250, and we outfit that particular student. That's maintenance of your instrument. That's maintenance of your uniform. You get a pair of shorts. You get 2 T-shirts, and it covers like food and water for practices and games and stuff like that. That's $250 per child on top of whatever you got to get the child for school. And man, I could tell you, you know how many parents. I volunteer at Martin Luther King High School in Lower Ninth Ward. You know how many parents out of 50 kids pay their budget fully? Less than 20%. So the band director and the assistants have to come up with the difference to make sure that child is outfitted. We actually have like a used bin for spats. Like if one of the seniors graduate, they donate their spats.
Right.
You know, after they graduated, so the next person can get it, because the parents, we come to the parents with the budget, and some of them simply just say, I can't afford it. But when they go to school, they got 200-300 pair, tennis shoes, Jordans.
But look, and I'm gonna tell you this, I'm just giving you an idea. Just from me doing this, I've been doing this shit for a long time, right?
Right.
My first year at Goretti, I did all the paperwork. Me and Tenaway Coach Cole, we sat out there. He grabbing paperwork, I'm organizing the paperwork. Boom, 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 putting all the shit in order, right? I called each and every parent. You hear me? Talk to them. Let them know what the budget was. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just say I bothered them so much that I got that fucking budget paid, dog. Like, everybody paid the budget. Like, and it's just coming at people on a fundamental level. Like, look, I come at you like Kirby. Like, look, we could break this shit down to $5 a week. You know what I mean? Like, how can you pay this budget? You want
right.
We could pay this bitch by the hour. It's like you pay 35 cents an hour.
And the budget and the budget be due at the beginning of school. And we like one of the children, like, it's the day before the first parade, and like you still owe $150.
Right.
But us as directors and people who help, you don't want to see the child like that.
Right.
So we like, go ahead on and march. We'll cover whatever you need to get to have you march. And then that same parent that wouldn't pay the $250 gonna be under the bridge. That's my baby. That's my baby.
Too, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They'll chaperone because they
chaperone because they want to be seen.
They want to be seen. They want to wear that windsuit. But they'll buy their own windsuit, right? They buy that, but they ain't gonna buy their child a mouthpiece.
Why you think you think that's a New Orleans parent thing? You think that's like a city, like you think like, why you think a lot of parents nowadays like kind of hold back on the kids? Oh, you think that's a thing nowadays? It seems like y'all think it's a thing.
It's a certain type of parent.
Right.
Certain type of parent.
But what I'm saying is, you think that's abundant now?
Probably not, because if you look at Roots and they're doing their thing, it shows that you have to have parents who are involved or
and
who want to be
care about their future.
Or do it say
It's no different than Roots. It's the same thing.
see but them Rawlins. I'm gonna tell you something about them Rawlins niggas. All them Rawlins niggas, they communicators. Like them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Man, look. I know Rawlins from 35. I know the 35 Rawlins.
Low.
My little girl, one of my little girls played football for 35.
Yeah.
He did. And my other little girl, she was a letter carrier at 35, right? And both of them kind of, they knew Rawlins because I think Rawlins used to work at McDonald 32.
Yeah, he
or
did.
something like that. And they went to 32 and they knew Rawlins. So he always was a person who was in my kids' lives,
Right.
And he always was a positive person, and he always communicated well and demanded respect. You know what I'm saying? And all them kids always did show that respect to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I always did admire about Rollins. And then I found out he had a brother who was even more fucking amazing. And then I'm like, what the fuck is this?
and I'll say this: have y'all seen The Whole Gritty City?
No.
It's a documentary. Look it up. Will and Lo did that documentary along with Lyons Jackson, who's over there, Helen Cox, and that inspired us to come back and give back because they actually show how difficult a kid, it is for a kid to march in a band. And that's when they started the Roots of Music. That's when Rob Wayne had a band. And Will Rollins was at Old Perry Walker. And he talked about, just like what we were talking about then, he talked about his friends. He said half of his friends was dead and half of them was on drugs. But that's the way he didn't want to go. And you have to show a kid that you came from that environment. So sometimes you have to come to practice as a director with a pair of J's on. Or they got to see what kind of type of car you drive. Like, oh, you drive that car? I can get that car. Yeah, you can get that car, but I got a college degree that match that car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I work hard like this to get those pairs of J's that I wear every day. So if I can do it, you can do it. And some of them get inspired by that because they want what you have. They want that level of success.
So out too to bring a lot of people to the band room to come speak to those kids too.
You saving them. So what you're saying is y'all take the Meek Mill approach. You're like the Meek Mill said. But I don't know. I be feeling like that's kind of some bullshit. They got some bullshit to that. You did. To showing me like the shit you got to inspire me. You did. Like, I don't know how much that inspire a person who ain't got shit.
If it can inspire a crackhead to do crack, then it can inspire a bandhead to do band.
No. What I'm saying is
like material possession.
Like
you show them the way, and they
so it's different for a kid in the band. So I don't have an instrument, but I take my instrument, this tuba right here, and I put my tuba in front of your face, the same tuba that you play, and I say, this tuba make me $100,000 a year. Would you not listen if you like playing tuba, or you want to go work at McDonald's?
It depends. Like, think about this, all right? You telling me a child, right?
We're talking about high schoolers.
All right. High schooler, even, it's still a child. You know what I'm saying? It's still a child. But that make you even more dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we talking about somebody real stupid, all right? You tell him you got a horn that you make $100,000 off of, right? Or you show him
it's obtainable.
Right. That still kind of make them kind of, I don't know.
It's a different type of hustle, bro. It's a different type of hustle.
Still
That's all I
material
can say.
shit. So, all right, look.
You got the material you want, but once you get out here in this real world and that rent due and the car no due, and you gotta.
But once you get caught up, once you get caught up in the in putting value on the value of material things, all right. So I just feel like sometimes that's kind of dangerous when you dealing with kids because all of them not gonna take that the same way. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because one of them might stick you up for your fucking horn. All they heard was $100,000 horn. They ain't for even process what the fuck you just said.
Right.
You heard me? They just heard $100,000 horn. They got a gun in their book. Say, man, fuck that, man, nigga, not my daddy. So nigga telling me. So
I get what you're saying.
No, but I'm saying like, at what point do you tap into something else other than that? Like, what's the other approach to that kid?
Well, you got to get each child is different, so you got to gauge them in a certain way. Like certain kids, I know I could pull them into saying, well, you keep looking at my shoes. Well, this is what it is to earn that. but it's just different.
Because
ways
that's
on
what
how
the crack dealers do.
Yeah.
You dig? So that's why I'm looking at the method, because the method, that's the same way they get your kids to sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is those methods are very dangerous because it still put the value on material things. Jay-Z said it best. He said, what he said, you know, the price, everything, the value, or nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because material things really don't have a value. They really don't. So the horn have a value. The horn itself as a tool and how you use it have a real value. So I'm trying to teach you the value of the horn, not the fact that you can make $100,000 with the horn. The fact that,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, like the art of it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't agree, because we're getting these kids ready for the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the real world.
And that's why it don't make sense. Why would I go learn how to horn? A fucking rapper said this shit. Why would I go work, right, if I could just wait till you get off from work and take your money? You know what I'm saying? So like, once you put the value on material things, everybody gonna start to rationalize this shit different. Some people gonna go make $1 million, lose it, and won't kill themselves. Some people gonna make $1 million and not really give a fuck because how they look at money. You know what I'm saying? So us coming from the ghetto, we look at money, especially fucking hustlers. You hear? We look at money like, man, all right, I'm gonna get this money, I'm gonna flip this here, I'm gonna put this here, and I'm watching myself build this money, and the shit fun. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what make hustlers moving money and making money and shit like that. But everybody not no hustler. Some people sitting back waiting for the hustles to hustle and come and take your shit. So it's all about how you take that value on. And I just feel like we have to show our kids on, fuck them Jordans. You hear me? Fuck that $100,000, nigga. Like at the end of the day, if you and him don't fucking form a brotherhood, y'all gonna make more than $100,000. No matter what, y'all gonna do something. Right. You hear me? You gonna do something. So a lot of the shit that we doing, it create them brotherhoods. Like the band created.
It's about creating.
It was the brotherhood that made y'all really fuck with you. Like you said, man, I seen you at McMahon, and next thing you know, you at. He's like, you know this nigga.
That's right.
You did. So that's a brotherhood that's $100,000 or $200. That shit worth more than any of that shit could fucking get you.
That's what it's about. It's about the brotherhood. It's about networking with the people you know and what they can do, and how you can return that favor. And that's pretty much what nonprofits do too. It's about, you know, making connections with people to find funding to make things happen. Because you could say, hey, I want everything in this room, but how am I going to get there if I don't network with people to learn about what I'm trying to do? It's a process, but you have to be willing to hone your craft, what you want to learn. And just like a hustler want to hustle, he took that as his bargain. He was like, okay, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to figure how the game go, and I'm going to play it raw. So a band person would be like, well, man, I just saw, you know, Rebirth win a Grammy. I want a Grammy too. That's where my head is. So they're like, okay, I want that Grammy. I want to be on that stage too. I want to be like John Baptiste.
So who Rebirth Lil Baby Band is? Like who they little niggas?
All us.
So they fuck with everybody heavy?
Afterbird, like I say, Afterbird.
I'm just saying, who they fuck with heavy? Like who they stamp?
They don't fuck with nobody. They're not stamping nobody, because at the end of the day,
Why not?
all us is a product of them.
Oh, them.
No.
You're not getting what I'm saying. When we all came out,
I get it.
after Rebirth, it was the Stooges, the Hot 8, and then came the Lil Niggas, TBC, All for One, because we was the first two young groups out. The rest of these young niggas came after Katrina.
Yeah.
And so now it's just a bunch of young groups out here.
So why you think Rebirth never stamped nobody?
What they gonna stamp us for?
Because that's what you doing. You the big dog. Look, and this what I'm trying. This what I'm trying to process through educators and moguls mental right now. You hear me? I'm just a fucking saute cook, bro.
Right.
You dig? And this is all I'm saying. If I'm Rebirth, right? I'm on top of the charts. I'm winning awards. Representing the city. I know they got all these young, hungry artists under me, right? I'm stamping somebody because I'm about to build something. They're just like motherfuckers. As soon as they start buzzing, let a rapper start buzzing. That's fucking hot. You gonna see fucking Baby, fucking at his fucking Rifle 9 say, man, I'm about to stop rapping. Baby, call my phone.
I'll tell you this.
It's almost like saying, this nigga drugs on this corner hot. Why he ain't holler at this nigga because they drugs hot?
No, it's just you have to stamp somebody when you the fucking nigga. Because no, you don't. But now you have him. He want to win a Grammy. Everybody goal now is to do what they did, win a Grammy, right? So at this point, they didn't really build nothing when you talk about, and that's typical New Orleans shit.
Yeah.
Just be great and yeah, I'm great. You did woo, you great. What are you built? Where is your infrastructure? All right, your infrastructure is a bunch of fucking Indians. Well, there is no fucking real hierarchy after you. You know what I'm saying? So you had the power to build that hierarchy, just like Baby had the power to say, "Oh, Rifle 9 a nigga." Oh, Nino Kelvin a nigga. And you got all these other rappers that you like, man, he hot too well. Why he not? Why he not? Because no big dog ain't fucking come stamp him and say, oh yeah, he that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So when you a big dog, it's your responsibility to build that infrastructure under you to say, all right, now you have that power to say, oh, you that nigga, come on. You remember, look, we taking Big Six on tour with us. So when we go get a Grammy, Big Six come in with us on stage to go pick up our fucking Grammy because we stamping them. So now motherfuckers, we book. Oh, we're gonna call Big Six. So you automatically stamp these people just like rappers do, just like other businesses do. But that's your job as a big dog. But us in New Orleans, we have a lot of people who, once they progress, they leave the infrastructure behind. Like, wasn't nothing bigger than No Limit. It was like Master P was like, he put his family in all the places where he had artists. He had the power to touch any artist and say, come on. You did. He ain't give Soulja Slim them fucking fire features with Maya and shit like that. He held it for Silk. He held it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had Mystical. You ain't put Mystical in them spots. Mystical was Mystical before and after. So I'm just talking infrastructure. When you that nigga, you did, like, it's your responsibility, just like you doing right now. You building an infrastructure. You building relationships through your studio, through different artists, and your infrastructure so right, motherfuckers know. Oh, I could come to K for this because K the nigga for this, and he gonna come through because he have the fucking infrastructure to do that.
True, but at the same time, I will not and won't not wait for a nigga to stamp me.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
You gotta get it on
you
your
can't.
own.
No,
You
you
gotta be
can't.
out there.
You can't. But it's always best. It's always best when you say, I want to be a part of that. You hear me? Not I won't do what they did. You're like, nigga don't say, oh, I won't do what Baby did. Well, people say I won't be part of Cash Money. You hear me? Like, that's just the reality of it because he built the infrastructure. Why would I wanna go redo what you did if it's already there perfectly doing what it's supposed to do? I won't be a part of that. That's why people join frats.
That's why those bands still exist today though, because a lot of those ain't original members. They just carry the name.
So, and to piggyback off of that, what did we do different?
Who?
Every brass band after Rebirth. What's the difference between us other than the name? Because half of us still playing half of their shit.
That's right.
Right.
We all playing Rebirth shit. Big Six. It don't matter who the fuck you name. And they can play.
I just feel like they left a lot on the table.
Right.
That's it. I'm not saying they did nothing wrong. What I'm saying is you left a lot of money on the fucking table. You did, and it's still there. Like they do have the power to just touch somebody and say you that nigga now. Like they have that type of power.
They have that power, but just to go on the conversation we had from last week, our fucking infrastructure fucked up, but on the money end, we so fucked up already because we still taking fucking pennies.
Because you don't have an infrastructure.
Right.
Duh. The fucking DJ is doing the same fucking thing in the city. Oh, I charge 300. Oh, I charge 100. Because any nigga with a fucking tuba will come say, oh, I got a band.
Because
and we Big Nine. We like just name the motherfuckers and just start fucking. So it's accessible to a lot of people like rap, like DJing, like a lot of these other crafts. Mm-hmm. So But when you have an infrastructure, you're gonna stop having people saying I want a Grammy. They're gonna say, oh, I want to be a part of All for One. Oh, I want to be a part of Music Box Studios because they got all the brass bands popping. I want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? And now you're gonna have them people like barber schools. Motherfuckers just can't go grab some fucking clippers and open a barber shop. Bitch, them people come and knock on your fucking door because they infrastructure right. Bitch, go to school. We gonna give you the license. Just pay the money.
Yeah.
You ain't even gotta know how to cut hair. Just learn how to clean the clippers good. We gonna give you the fucking license. Then you go open the shop and we gonna come there and regulate you whenever we want to because our infrastructure right. When your infrastructure right, you can do that with any craft. No, it can't happen. We smart enough. This is why we here.
You're looking at music in a sense. Basically, music is an art, and then you have the artist, you have the art, you have the artist, and you have the industry. Most levels of art don't have an industry behind it. I mean, there is jazz stations and things like that, but now you have to get recorded to be on those jazz stations. You have to go to somebody you know to do that.
Look,
somebody has to put you out, kind of like you're saying, but you also have to do the work yourself. But it's more so about you doing the work.
But you'll always be a slave to the craft. You will always be a slave to yeah, because anywhere you don't have a union, you will find people who are a slave to the craft. If you don't have a union in any business you in, if you don't have a union and an active union, guess what? You a slave to the fucking craft. Right. Because you gotta do whatever the motherfucking craft say. If the motherfuckers say we paying y'all bitches $100 now, that's what the fuck somebody gonna fucking take, and that's the fucking going rate. But when you have a union, you say, bitch, none of us taking that. And if he go take it, bitch, I'm gonna come fuck you up. That's what's gonna happen, bitch. We gonna come see you about it. So, and that's what unions do.
These brass bands, a lot of the brass bands, the top brass bands, we have those conversations behind doors. And the conversation at one point was, we ain't taking no parade unless it's paying $5,000.
That's right.
$5,000.
And who the man is on that situation?
Nobody's the man.
Somebody got to be the man. That's the main thing about New Orleans that's fucked up. You hear me? Somebody got to be the man, and you got to respect the man. You hear me? Like, when we do that, we succeed the best. Baby the fucking man. You hear me? Like, you ain't about to go and cash nowhere around them cash money niggas and start bad-mouthing Baby. A nigga gonna bat you in the mouth with a fucking bottle. You dig? Because Baby the fucking man. When a group of New Orleans niggas get together and say he the man, we gonna listen to him. You heard me? He the one that got our best interest in mind that listen to us, and he gonna be our mouthpiece. When we do that, we unfucking stoppable. As you can see, Cash Money ain't get a game back. What they say, 99 2000, right? They're like, Cash Money ain't get a game back. That's what we do when we touch shit, son.
And that's the New Orleans nigga shit. Like, when does that change?
It don't.
What I think is you have it, but it's on certain levels. When you take somebody like, and I'm just gonna put it this way, you mentioned all this stuff about how they don't like just stamp somebody with that brand, but sometimes it's not about doing that. Sometimes, just like we go back to taking those groups of kids, like you coach a bunch of kids, you might see a kid and you know he got NFL in him. Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna directly just take that child. Now, you might look at him and you might want to work with him a little more than other kids. But at the same time, that kid got to do the work itself. That kid got to become Tyrann Mathieu. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of fundraisers y'all got? Y'all got any, like, fundraisers coming?
Well, one thing we're doing is we have a partnership with Landmark Staffing Services at the Superdome. Mm-hmm. And what we're doing is you get to basically work to help us raise money to fund our programs. All we need out of a person is maybe 5 hours for an event at Saints game.
You don't mind me asking, what do y'all get? Like, what goes back to y'all organization out of that?
Well, what happens is when they volunteer to work at these events, mm-hmm. that company then sends us a check in the amount of money earned through them working.
All right.
That's all.
All right.
That person themselves, they don't get anything but the you know,
The experience.
the experience of working. And if
Right.
they want to get hired by that company, they can do that easy because now they're in the system.
Right.
You know, they've worked their way into the system to, at that point, get a license to be a security guard.
Right.
And that's pretty much it.
Oh, look, and I just want to give y'all some ideas because I do a lot of fundraising, bro, and I'm gonna tell you, like when you're dealing with kids, a fire fundraising thing is just getting them to sell snacks, bro. Like real shit. Like you'll be surprised how much money you make off of like Gatorades and just shit like that at like events. Like Gatorades cost like 45 cents. You can sell them for $2. If you go around white people, you can sell them for $3. You dig? So, and that's like a fucking triple markup, quadruple markup on the item. And you could afford to even give something to the fucking kids. That's what I do on the park. Like I develop them type of economic resources where I'm selling 45 cent shit for $2, $3. You dig? And that's enough money to go re-up. You did make sure everybody's straight and pop out this kid something because he about to help me make this bread.
Right,
especially if we go out in the field because you about to make way more money than that. You know what I'm saying? All the money go back. I always hate watching us work, and they don't get me wrong. I love the working together thing.
Right.
But I want more of that money to start drawing back the black companies and black children and black families more than them getting everything, or you know what I'm saying? Like I really be wanting to see that shit more trickle and be able to create something. You did like I feel like, especially with y'all been on the right track, what y'all doing. I feel like we're gonna end up merging lanes, bro. Like I really do. Like I feel like it's almost inevitable that we end up merging lanes.
Linked y'all two together.
Yeah,
We were looking for
about a year ago.
For the North.
Oh, real
About a
talk?
year ago.
So when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, I think I linked y'all.
All right, so like it's inevitable for us to end up
It's
Right,
bad timing, but it's about to happen. Though.
right.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
this here is a direct park. See, me, I had, you know, Larry Barabino number in my pocket for some years because he's from the St. Bernard.
Right.
Easy connection, right?
Larry a good dude, but you hear me? Larry a good dude. Ain't no but. Larry a good dude. You hear me? I'ma keep it. You hear me? Like, yeah. All right. This Benjimanzroom episode 10.
But it might be 9.
Larry ain't give my motherfucking give my motherfucking meeting yet. You heard me, boy? Yeah, you did. I need my meeting. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, great dude. You did. We out. On my
Man.
fucking meet. And Coach said I'm fucking hard up for wanting this meeting, but bitch, you said you were gonna give me a meeting. That's why I want the meeting. And Allah in fucking marketing is never turn down a meeting. You did never turn down a meeting.
that's right.
Especially if you give your word to a meeting,
Right.
don't never turn it
Don't
down.
never turn it
so
down.
I'm making him stand on that shit, bitch. I want a meeting, bitch, and in that whole meeting, I'm gonna fuss about why you ain't give me the fucking meeting
And I'll
in the first place.
Right.